Hello, people. I'm just going to have this wee hangout tonight because I think it's the last day of. Oh shit. Aye, like I was saying, it's the last night of Google Hangouts, and I thought I'd celebrate by having a wee last. I thought yesterday was the last time, but I tested it tonight and it's still working, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Google Hangouts kind of cut off halfway through this stream. I had a hangout last night. I called it my last Google Hangout because I thought Google was going to be finished, but it's still running. I turn on YouTube and I see Jamie Brown sitting there, so I think he must be using the Google Hangouts. So I'll just start one myself. I've been sitting on my other channel trying to sift through different software to use to broadcast, because that's what we need to realise, guys. Like, if you're going to keep streaming and doing hangouts and live chat, you're going to have to find a broadcasting software like OBS. And Tim, I've tried that OBS, by the way, and it doesn't seem to work on my Mac. It's a pain in the arse. I think the Mac version's still a bit buggy, but maybe if you know something else about that. I can see VB out there getting all stressed. Are you alright, VB? You getting stressed, mate? You want to come in? You want to come in and I'll give you a cuddle, mate? If you want, VB, I'll send you the link. You can come in. Tell me your... Is it 4 reasons you've got there? Right, let's see the first one. Right. Reason 1. You're a condescending prick to pretty much everyone in FE. And in a way, validation boy, I see where you're coming from. But I've got good reason to be a condescending prick. Because I began as a alright guy. I tried to be like what cathexis or what other people were. Like sympathizers, like flat earth sympathizers. And in a way, I was on a journey myself. I wanted to debunk the globe myself. I was still on that journey. I wasn't fully convinced myself. I thought, I looked at the NASA stuff and I looked at, and there was a good argument. It seemed like there was a good argument back then. But what I've realised now, that it was all put together for us. Like that funny thing happened on the way to the moon. The way that video was put together, it seemed to be constructed for us to discover right before flat Earth. It kind of just slipped in there. So, validation boy, I can understand why you think I'm condescending. But you've got to realise that if you look on my comments, actually, I might even screen share some of the messages I get. And they're just outrageous. A lot of the time I just block the channel or whatever so that the messages just get deleted. But there's a reason why I'm condescending. It's like, when you've been in this for so long, you start to lose your patience. It's only natural that you start to lose your patience with these people. And there's certain people we've been telling for a long time. Been trying to present evidence to these people for a long time, and they just choose to ignore it. So if I want to be condescending to these people because of that, well, that's up to me. It's my prerogative. Because the way I see it, everyone that avoids looking at the evidence presented for a sphere Earth and continues to push the flat Earth are just liars in my eyes. In my eyes, they're just liars. Especially the big guys, when they know they've been presented with it. Like last night, I was listening to Tim and Vegan Warrior, and Tim presented a lot of shit to Vegan Warrior, probably more than he's heard in this whole fucking scene for months. And in my eyes, a vegan warrior just chooses to ignore all that evidence that Jeremy and Tim and the other guy, the Dutch guy, presented. Well, I feel that's deliberate. It's deliberate choosing to deliberately deceive people. So when I see these deliberate deceivers, charlatans, I become condescending. It's just a natural reaction. You're fighting in the trenches in this scene for so long. VB, you would know exactly how it would feel if you were still on this side of the fence. VB likes to be liked. Well, VB, I'm not bothered about being liked. I don't want people to hate me for no reason. I want to know that reason. I understand why people might not like me, because I don't like a lot of people. So it's just natural. But to hate me and to wish me like certain things would happen to me and comments and shit like that, that's just, I've never wished harm on anybody in flat earth. Right, what's his reason too? You play word games worse than Fox News when it comes to quoting people. So who have I quoted, Validation Boy, that's worse than Fox News? I think you're exaggerating there, Validation Boy. You're a bit full of yourself. I noticed that last night. I kind of caught up with your hangout. I didn't even know you were having a hangout, Validation Boy. That's how interested I am in you. I didn't even know you were having one. Then I realised, oh, it's Monday night. He usually has one. Reason 3, you're the king of misrepresentation. Who have I misrepresented? Because everybody that I've said is a liar, charlatan, like Antonio, Nathan Oakley, all these people, they're just liars. I'm not misrepresenting them. I'm telling the truth. They are liars. And so are you, VB. You're a liar. You're one of the biggest liars of all, VB. You're kind of pathetic. You're like a lost soul, VB. You don't know where you stand. You want to be accepted by the flat earthers, but you want to be edgy, and you can't have it both the ways, VB. You can't be edgy and be in a fucking cult while you're conforming to everybody else. You can't be edgy when you lose your individualism. You can't be edgy if you fucking throw away your ego and just act like everyone else. You try and be edgy and you're anything but. You're blunt, just like your head. Reason 4, we all know your skepticism of FE is fake. Well, Validation Boy, unlike a lot of globers or ballers or whatever you want to call them, globetards, unlike a lot of them that come to argue in certain debates, I've actually went out and done stuff, mate. And I've recorded it. And I've done it with Mr. B in the Southern Hemisphere. I've done it with, what's his name again? Oh, sorry, man. This is terrible that I forgot your name. Oh, another dude for Australia. And these are smart guys with good photography equipment. And we done the moon phases and we matched what we had. And whether you believe it or not, VB, if it's timeanddate.com got it wrong or whatever, at the end of the day, what we discovered cannot work on flat Earth. Doesn't matter how you want to try and construe it or bend it or deform it. It'll never work on flat Earth. Simple, mate. Sorry to say. Timmy Osmond's in the house. And he is saying that Validation Boy is pathetic. I can kind of agree. Glenn, Yvette got a dirty bum. You going to block me, Tim? Tim can't block you because he's not a moderator in here. No one's a moderator in here. And his validation boy keeps saying that he is the first. No, you weren't the first. I began with no moderators. Laurie Gale came in with somebody else, and they were trying to push me to put moderators on, which I eventually done because there was that many trolls. But then I regretted it, and there was only 2 mods, and I took them back within 3 weeks, and ever since. And I was doing hangouts well before you, VB, well before you. And for that short period, there was moderators, but not anymore, and that's the way it's going to stay. So you can say all your crap all you want. I never touch that stuff. I don't do yoga, man. Yoda. Star Wars. Wee, say Shroomy. Flat Earth Holland. What's up, FE lovers? Oh, here, guys, did you notice Infinite Plane Society was in my chat last night? Jesus Christ. It's like they know. It's like they must have people telling them. Because I made a video highlighting the fact that this Infinite Plane Society guy, whoever his real name is, I think he's got that many names. He actually states in one of his chapters, his books, how to gang up on Globers, right? How many people on the side of the globe Earth have created documents on how to gang up on flat earthers? How to bully them? I've not seen any of them. So I found that very, very disturbing to see him going that step further and inciting violence. He even said on his podcast that you should provoke violence and then even edit the provocation out. So to me, that is propaganda, deception. It's just charlatanism. Right. We have Andratse. We have COINTELPRO killers. My German grandfather fought in the Second World War. Validation boy, your baptismal name got to be utter abysmal bottom bitch boy. Schmick, don't forget to donate to Dredd and Sanchez for teaching truth. Haha, it's not about the money, guys. Dredd and Sanchez, who's that? Oh, is it synthetic Dredd? I think those dreadlocks are synthetic. They're stuck to his cap. The guy's probably bald, and it's like those dreadlocks are stuck to his hat. And I think, who's the other guy? Sanchez, is that the black guy? He's got quite a few subs, actually, that Sanchez guy. Flat Earth Holland. Jet, I bet you love Flat Earth. Well, I'm afraid they don't love me, so why should I love somebody back that doesn't love me? I've tried to help people. I've took a lot of time in my life. I've sacrificed a lot of time with my family. Time doing shit, man. Try to tell people the truth, and all I get is hate back. It becomes frustrating. You wonder why I get condescending. Right, Forgiven Dave, you're a cock though, Jet. Cheers, man. Jordan Reigns, keep it flat. DG Tricks, Vagination Boy. This is another guy that's got a bit of problem with me, DG Tricks. And like I said, guy, we'll let the haters come in, and I'll drop the link. You can snipe me if you want. That's up to you. But if you've really got something to get off your chest, I think tonight might be a good time. And I don't want a circle jerk. I don't want people coming in that agree with me. I only want people to come into my chat that actually have got something to say to me, their problem. Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm just a YouTuber. I don't physically do anything in your life. I can't actually disturb your life. So the hate, and because DG Tricks, he's been quite hateful in his comments as well. Infinite Plane Society. That's not the real one. I've got his channel, but I didn't. That's not the real one. Nah, I'm sure that's maybe DQ or Shroomy. Schmick, most globe trolls are undercover flat earthers. Looks like VB gets more hate than Jed. No, VB, you hang around our chats. If you were in Poncho Pete's chat, Poncho Pete's having a hangout right now, I think, Validation Boy, right? And if you were in that chat, you'd be welcomed like a king. You'd be welcomed like a king. But you choose to come to these chats, my chats, Timmy Osmond's chats, P. Mars's chats. Why? Because it's more intellectual. It's better for you. You know it's better for you, VB. You know when you bounce your ideas off of us and we tell you this and tell you that, you get more from us. And I think it's the same with Nathan Oakley. When Nathan Oakley goes into the Flat Earth chats, everyone's just licking his arse. But then when he comes into these kind of chats, he gets challenged and maybe he can learn something. Maybe we can learn something off of him as well. So everybody likes to get challenged, and this is why you keep coming back to my chats, and this is why I go to the Flat Earther chats, but I get blocked instantly. This is why I have so many hangouts. Right, they're selling Flat Earth throw pillows. There's Carol Stenbeck. Because I do everything bigger and better, says Validation Boy. The Flat Earth Activists, a guide to dismantling the globe paradigm, regular price $9.95. Jesus Christ. So, like, how many books are out there that tell people who believe in a globe Earth to gang up on people that believe in flat Earth? I don't think there's many books, guys. And that's what I'm saying. I don't go around pushing the globe. They keep saying that I push the globe. I don't push the globe. I point out that flat Earth is bullshit. I'm not pushing the globe. I'm pointing out that flat Earth is bullshit. And if they ask me why it's bullshit, I'll say because it's a globe. It's not that I'm pushing the globe. What I'm doing is I'm saying what they believe in is bullshit. And there's evidence to support why it's bullshit. And if they ask me why I believe what shape it is, I'll say a globe. It's not that I push it. It's the only shape I can actually see anything working on. And it's perfect. DJ Tricks. I don't dislike you, Jed. I like you. I just don't like the bitching and the Yanks you do have on. So that's maybe a reference to Timmy Osmond. And that's the same. It's like, again, why hate me because you hate Tim Osmond? You see what I mean? But me and Tim Osmond didn't even agree. Actually, I think I've got more things I disagree with Tim Osmond than certain flat earthers out there. Fair enough, me and Tim, we agree in the shape of the earth. We agree in a lot of stuff about the earth and the logic that goes behind in our beliefs. But what? You can't hear me? You sure? You sure you can't hear me? Let me turn it up a bit. Right, let's see. Aye, like I was saying about Tim Osmond. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that Tim says and does. That's again, but it's the same in Flat Earth. It's like I'm not here to be enemies with anyone. We're all going to have disagreements about stuff. There's just people that they just frustrate you so much because you show them something. You don't care if there's people walking about believing in Flat Earth because they're willfully like they just don't know. But when you go up to someone and show them and show them and show them and show them, and they still say Flat Earth, they still don't even quite. To me, it's just dishonesty, just downright dishonesty. And there's people that are just here for the group mentality, the group dynamics, the tribalism. That's why a lot of people like Dell, because he's like the leader of the tribe. And although people support anarchism and stuff like that, like Dell's chat is a a good example of people following a follower, people needing to be ruled. So what does that tell you? All those people that need to be told what to do. Does this not say that naturally we need governments to tell these idiots, because people can't rule themselves? They need to swarm to other people. And people look for leaders because they've not got the self-esteem or the power or the motivation that certain people do have. So when it comes to this whole anarchy thing that Dubé and Dell and certain flat earthers push, right, fair enough, but anarchy could only work in an idealistic situation. And I just think it's too much an idealist sort of like think that we could just everything could work without government, like we could just govern ourselves. It's a nice thought. But what you've got to remember, guys, there's lots of fucking nutcases out there. Lots of nutcases out there. And one day you're going to get old. And how you got to govern yourself when you're old, when you need care. Right. Who else have we got? Stephen Anthony. Candy Franklin is here. No, it's no Candy Franklin. Jesus Christ. I seen her earlier on in my other channel's chat. My other channel's totally obscure, and I didn't even put Fly Earth in the title. It was something like Test, or I think it was just Test, or Jed Skeptic Media, or something like that. And they just all swarm. They all swarm here. Is it loading, guys? Stephen Anthony's put me off here. Something's happening. The Google bug's kicking in, guys. Jesus Christ. What's happening? Aye. I better put a link out before this thing crashes and melts down, man. Right, I think that's the link there, people. So like I said, I'm going to post the link. And if you've got a problem, just speak up, man. I'll try and address it like a man to man, mano o mano. I'll be back in a minute. Right, guys, like I said, the link's out there. If Phoebe's out there and he's got a bone to pick with me, it's there. Aye, I think you need to restart your computers, guys. Mr. Anthony. Like I said, the link's there. Everything seems to be working fine on my end. That's what I don't understand with certain people that have broadcasts. They don't know if they're on, and you've got a green bar at the bottom it shows that you're on. Like, it tells you you've started. It's got a button that says stop broadcast, so obviously you've started. There's a live icon in the top right hand corner. There's like a green bar showing the volume control of your mic. So these people that come on, it's like, how many hangouts have they had? And they're still wondering if it's on. Is it on yet? Or hello? Hello? Am I still here? But anyway, guys, the link's there. Jump on and tell me your grievances. Why do you hate me so much? Come on. Look at my last video. It's got 45 thumbs down. 45 thumbs down. There's obviously a lot of haters out there. And I want to know what the problem is. Like I said, the way I see it, I spend a lot of time, effort, trying to deliver the truth to you guys. Whether you think it's condescending at times, which it might appear to be, but sometimes this is my method. You don't get anywhere just stating stuff sometimes. Sometimes you have to be condescending, or you have to be sarcastic, or you have to use satire to get your message across, because simply just saying it isn't enough on YouTube. Simply just saying something, the earth is not flat, isn't enough. So I do use certain tactics, and they do come across as condescending. But if you look at the way I look at it, that what I'm doing is the right thing because you guys are believing in a lie. So the way I see it, I'm trying to get you to believe in the truth. So whether you see that as bad, if you just if you flipped into a globe tomorrow, you'd see that everything I was trying to do was good. So, I take it all my haters are in Jamie's fucking room. Come on, guys. I didn't want any bum lickers on the night. I didn't want any circle jerks. I didn't want anyone telling me that they're honoured to be on, because that's just bullshit. It's a validation boy. It's an honour. It's an honour to have you on. Come on, VB, I know you're out there. Come on and tell me what you think. Bro Sanchez. I listened to that guy like once. And to be honest, he didn't bring anything new to the table in my eyes. Obviously, he brings that urban street feel to the flat earth. That, hey, I can, like, after the basketball players kind of came out, it was like we've got like a sort of whole new wavy, a certain Democrat coming in now. The demograph, sorry. And this demograph is looking for something that's not white. And there's this is one thing I did notice, guys. Early in the flat earth, there was hardly any black people in it. I was starting to think, are black people more logical? Are black people smarter than white people because there's no black people in it? But after these basketball players, and obviously the rapper, B.O.B., that there's been this whole new demograph, young black men looking for flat earth information. And because there's so many white guys like Mark Sargent, all the top guys are white, Eric Dubé, I can understand why guys like Sanchez, or is it you being exposed or something as well? Is this someone in the house? Hey,
Me.
it's Martin. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thanks, Jed. Just thought, am I coming through robotic?
No, you're coming in fine.
Oh, because I was uploading, I thought it wouldn't work. I just come to visit you. Hiya,
How
good
you,
evening.
how you doing, man? I didn't think you'd come in. This is a chat for haters, mate.
No, I just want to come and visit you and say hiya, that's all.
Nice one.
Spread the
What,
love. Good
what
to
you
see you,
been
brother.
what you been up to lately, man?
Oh, just really busy with just caring and stuff, man. It takes up all my time, all my energy. So it's just like giving away, really. And just whatever's left, I was giving to the FE effort, and it's just been basically fucking polishing me off, just leaving me frazzled, if I'm honest. Yeah. So I'm just like stepping back. I keep my happy little corner of YouTube over here, Flat Earth British, which I'm quite happy with. It's in a good position. And I'll do my own thing. Does that sound good, Jed, to you?
Aye, you've sort of took a different direction.
Hmm. Well, I've got other interests, like, the stuff you're into, like, when you went on your walk. I love all that stuff. I like to cover history and all the different concepts of all the different ideas. There's so much to cover. And I can't just keep encompassing it in this cyclical argument of flat earthism because it's boring.
No, you're right. You're right.
There's so much else I could talk about, so much else to cover that I know. So I don't know. I canvass it under the flat Earth, realm, I suppose, because I'm a flat earther. But I had a cracking idea. Do you want to hear it?
Aye, on you go. Fire away.
Right now, not only is the Earth's land flat to a flat earther, but the seabed is also. Okay, you strip away the sea from their ball, and you can see the topography of for example, the Pacific Ocean is completely flat, a flat plane. Now, when I was at sea, we used to do this thing called sounding. Now, what I had to do was drop a rope over the side with a lead weight every, say, half a mile to take a sounding to see how deep the water was in knots. Okay. Now, it occurred to me that you'd only have to do, say, a little boat, no expense, 25 miles out into the North Sea, say as far as Dogger Bank, and do a sounding every half a mile for 25 fucking miles. And if that rope comes up exactly the same length over 25 miles straight, then it's completely flat, isn't it? Underwater. Because people keep conceptualizing that this ball with the water, but obviously the water is on they say a solid rock, isn't it? And the rock is actually the thing that's curved that the water is, but that seems to be something that people are completely disconnecting from. But apart from the mid-Atlantic ridge, the rest of it is plains. The sea's beds are plains, and this has been scientifically proven. This is their facts. So it occurred to me, shit, all you'd need is a simple sounding, and you could work out the depth of the plane. And if it's completely level over, say, 25 mile, there it is. It's flat. Curve argument, killed.
Did they not say that the Earth's like a sort of potato-y shape when they strip off the oceans? It's like more like a potato.
It is. I've got a few different images of it, but none of them see. It's really jaggedy looking as well. It's there's a lot.
I was thinking about this, Martin. That the fact that I've heard a lot of stuff lately that there's only a thin layer of water on the Earth, and then I see other images saying, well, when you remove the oceans from the Earth, it looks like a potato. So then you're like, well, it's either thin or there's lots of water. Like it's either.
Well, the Pacific is only its depth is only like 2.5 miles. The Marianas Trench, that's the deepest they say. It's what, 3 miles down. The Titanic was at 2 miles down, North Atlantic. These are the only depths we're talking. It's nothing deeper. So if you think the distance of 2 miles, you can see that across the city, Jed, can't you? 2 miles is fuck all. So they're not really deep. You strip them away.
I still feel that these kind of arguments, Martin, like the sea and things that are like you maybe need to use sonar and things like that to bounce off the bottom of the seabed, and then you have to rely on other. Well, we've not got that technology, so then you have to rely on maybe the Navy or whoever it is that's doing it. Maybe fishermen do it. I don't know. When there's really stuff out there, man, that you could do with your own eyes, like the phases of the moon. what hit me, Martin, was the fact that when I was doing my videos for the phases of the moon, when it was doing the crescent, my friend was in the Emirates, and he was like, Jed, I seen the moon like a bull. And he started saying maybe that's why it's part of their religion in the Middle East, because the bull, because we never see it really like a bull. So I put two and two together. I thought, well, I'm seeing it like a crescent. He's seen it like a bull, and he's on the equator. So
it's so weird. I got to.
So like to me, it clicked there. It clicked there, and then I was like, wow.
I wonder.
Like it couldn't.
Like in the crescent, like yeah.
Well, that couldn't work on a flat Earth, and my mate. He didn't even know what I was into. I was just talking about the moon phase, and he's not got a motivation to be a flat earther or a glober. He was just telling me about the moon. So I know there's no motivation behind him or bias. He was just telling me what he was seeing in the Emirates. And it kind of clicked with me. It was like, and then I started to try to figure out how can this work on a flat Earth? And then
outside the orbital mechanics, which I don't understand, if I'm honest. I can't work it out. There's these perfect 400 times the mass and 400 times the distance. It just seems too perfect. But besides that, I think I've worked out pretty much myself without listening to, because this is what's happening. You know, we've got this belief against scientism where everything we fucking believe and be listening to, flat earthers are doing exactly the same. They're just listening to everybody else and fucking emanating it.
YouTube videos instead.
Yeah, exactly. So, there you are, love, you're right. My mother, she's having a bedtime bliff. It kills her arthritis pain.
Is she still up?
Yeah, it's the last one now before she crashes. Start with pain. Anyway, so, what was that about? Sorry, Jay, I got sidetracked.
I think you were talking about ellipses. Were you talking about ellipses?
No, we were outside of the orbital mechanics of what's happening with the moon and that, which I can't really get my head around, okay, because it doesn't make much sense. But I think I have worked out that it ain't distant, because with this camera that I've got, which is only a fine pix, and I know you've got a nice camera, a P900. Now I've got a Patrick Moore book up there, and he mapped the moon, as you know. He's got famous for it, and it's got all the diameters for all the craters. So I'm looking, you know, I've got these images, I collect them, and I'm the biggest diameter of the biggest crater is Tycho, named after Tycho Brahe. There's another connection. You will find a connection with all these crater names as well. You know, it's really weird when you go into it, but to them, it's only 83 miles in diameter, and all the others are only 6-8 miles, so city diameter. So they're trying to, you know, get us to believe that even with these optics we got now, we can see something the size of a city, 250,000 miles away. So obviously that's absurd. So the moon is
I was thinking,
they're telling us. That's
I was thinking, well, what if, because the moon hasn't got an atmosphere, it's not got all the plant life, it's not got the humidity that's in our atmosphere, because if our atmosphere was probably like the moon's, it'd probably be like crystal clear, no clouds, nothing in the sky.
It's such a mystery, such an enigma to humanity. You know, their version of it, you know, crashing into Earth and then coming off and then recoalescing because of gravity over this vast eon of time and coalescing into this barren, really spooky looking rock, which looks very out of place. You look at all the other moons, right, in the proposed solar system, Jed. You go through Titan, Europa, Io, any one of them, and they're all really interesting featured moons. They've got facets, they've got ice, they've got different, you know, topographies. It's really weird. But then you get to our moon, and it's a barren, dead, fucking boring rock, and we can't see the dark side of it. It's the only moon in the solar system that doesn't turn. You know, we get this, you know, retrograde movement where it goes from 4 to 8, respective where you are on this ball. You will see it this way or that way, but it doesn't turn that way. And yet every other moon in the solar system does. There's something fucking wrong with that moon. Do you know the ancient Zulus say it wasn't always there yet? Right?
Well, you know me, right? I believe in a spherical Earth, but one thing that does puzzle me, and it still puzzles me now, is the eclipse, like the solar eclipse, how the moon and the sun are perfect size. Like the moon's 400 times smaller than is it the sun or the earth, and 400 times the miles, and to me that is like almost impossible. It's almost impossible, but
it's incredible. But the curve, it's not cute enough. To be on the ball that they propose, even if you do witness that sort of eclipse, when you examine that curve, if you try to, just freeze frame it on your computer screen and then draw a circling card on a piece of paper around it, and then try and visualize what they're trying to say it is. It's the curve that you see. I'm not saying there's no fucking fictitious Nibiru or any other body like Vulcan. It's just been witnessed thousands of times by astronomers in the last couple of 100 years, but never once ever gets brought up. Got witnessed again last year, Vulcan, Did you see them two suns, Jed? Did you see that, though?
Nah,
last week?
Well, I've seen a couple of guys going through the images, and to me it looks like someone's took a photo through a double glazed piece of glass.
Exposure.
It looks like when you take a picture through double glazing and you see, that's what it looked like to me.
It did. I think, in a city of 7 million people, it would have been more than one recording of it, wouldn't there?
Aye. Well, that's good that you're doing that. That you're taking that logic that more people must have seen it and filmed it, because everyone's got phones and cameras. And
I'm not one for jumping on the bandwagon of what everyone else is thinking. I've always been like the sort of person that's like, because we're supposed to be free thinking, individual minded, and having original thoughts if we can.
Well, that's what I like to you were on a journey, and I was watching you. As much as you, like, I didn't think you were pushing charlatanism. I just liked you watching your journey, and whether I believed you or not, I just liked watching you go through your own journey. And it's what I've got a problem with is these charlatans and like Infinite Plane Society turning up, selling stuff, just using this,
whirlwind, hasn't he?
Using people.
Eric Dubé, his first interview on mainstream media, and he actually brings up Infinite Plane Society. Now, when you've got this new guy come along, Infinite Plane Society, and I thought, fuck me, he's only been out 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get on your fucking radar. How are you so fucking tuned in, dude? They got a fucking spy on every corner, like the Gestapo. It's so fucking weird. I got a message today, right, that said, right, on my comments, and it said, you are in deeper and darker than you could possibly know. It didn't scare the shit out of me. It's just sort of like a punch in the face, or more of a slap in the face to wake up, Martin, you silly sausage. This is fucking real. We're dealing with a whole world of psychotic fuckers. And I'm playing a really dodgy game on fucking YouTube with a load of psychotic fuckers. Am I not?
But really, Martin, what makes you think that everyone's so psychotic?
Not all that, obviously, but in sort of the globe mentality. What I experienced today, right, with I've got a real problem with government types.
It's like the globe mentality, and that's getting labelled on us like we're.
Everybody, listen, Jed, I'm telling you what, I would like to fucking make this fucking go in a whole different direction. Let me tell you, right, when this Arab Spring happened through Facebook, and then they overthrew this fucking terrible fucking dictator in Egypt, why can't that happen worldwide? But I'm not just talking about flat earth and everyone realising the global, I'm talking about for the future of man. You can't deny that this place is the shit, and it is, Jed. That country's going down a fucking toilet. I don't know what it's like where you up north, mate, but it's a fucking sewer. They turned it into fucking Mumbai out there. I can't fucking stand it. Now, they are making everything fucked by their dialectic to make a division against everybody. Everyone's falling straight into this trap, but I want to make everyone wake up and be clear that we're all together.
Right? You can see the situation you're in right now, right? You've got your mum, you, the government's obviously maybe helping with the medical stuff, and right, just throw that out the window for a second and pretend it's Martin's world. What would you want in this society?
Okay, right. I can tell you right now, right? Freedom for humanity, our sovereignty back, not to be a bitch and a slave to people who demand our existence from the moment we come out, right? We know how the straw man affects. I'm not even going to go into the details of this, but I'm talking about people embracing what they're good at in life. Say you're good at needlework. This would be a trade. You live your entire life by doing whatever you're good at.
People from wanting to do needlework.
No, but I'm not. It's just as an example. Whatever skill you're good at, you could use for your life. This is the way things were in the Victorian era.
I think they can't do it.
They go in school. They learn you algebra. Now, the only practical use of algebra is for the stock exchange. What the fuck? They train in the stock exchange. Now,
algebra's pretty useless to me. Like,
and all education is about is not what you learn; it's about what you remember at the end of it all. And it's all useless bollocks because the only stuff I learned was when I was away on my father's ships. And in geography.
What would you teach in the schools then? What would you teach if you weren't going to teach math in school?
Oh no, we can go with math, but the thing is, like, you can obviously do Pythagoras, and obviously because it's all working, isn't it? You can see the industrial world has been built on it.
So you support the works of Pythagoras?
I am saying that it works, and we haven't got any replacement.
So you recognise the guy existed then? Do you recognise he existed then?
You have to. In a real world, you have to, because it's being used in every day. I understand the initiation and how it's been brought into practice, Jed, but I'm just saying it's used in, look how a steam engine works, right? If I's not gone into the fucking workings of a steam engine, it wouldn't even exist. I'm not just pi or phi or omega or any fucking mathematical concept you want, roads you want to go down. These things have been used, and they've been used practically. And if it's ill education and scientism, which is what flat earthers are saying, then it is. But when you look into it and go as deep as we do, you find inconsistencies with everything. Now, the maths is obviously tainted. They've done it for their own purposes to back up their bullshit model to begin with, because the Big Bang, a load of pigeon shit in a fucking radio telescope does not initiate a Big Bang. And 25% of the buzzing on your television screen was not the Big Bang. The Big Bang happened everywhere at the same time. This is incredibly bad news.
Definitely be debated. I'm not here to tell people to believe in creationism or the Big Bang or anything like that. Like I said, I'm just going on what I've experienced.
I'm a creationist, I think. Am I?
What was that?
I am. I think I might be a creationist then.
Well,
it must be.
No, well, the Big Bang must have been created. if it was a Big Bang, it must have been created somehow.
God. Oh, don't go down that road. You don't like people like Dawkins, do you? Do you like that Richard Dawkins?
See, when I was younger, when I was more on the atheist side of things, I did like Dawkins.
I read his books. I read them all. The God's Illusion I read. I found it really offensive.
The Selfish Gene as well.
I got the Selfish Gene up there, but it was a good read. But I find him so offensive to me as a person, because I'll argue till the blue in the face with every single person in the flat earth, right? I am a spirit having a human experience, okay? Everybody wants to say that consciousness is a byproduct of mental processes. Everything is matter, everything is solid. But it's not, because our souls, a surgeon will tell you, when a person passes away, that fucking thing is empty, and whatever that light, that spark, right, is gone. And that ether is not matter. So what is it? It's transcendental, isn't it? It doesn't exactly exist in our ethereal realm. So our spirit, which runs our body, by the way, the driver of the machine, so to speak, the one who sees, isn't even in this realm or this reality. So when you strip back all that, right, when people have real trouble believing that their actual spirit's having a human experience and not a human spiritual experience, because that's bullshit. We're all going to find out one day, because we're all petrified of shit to die in, see? But it's not. It's just going, it's flying from one room to another room.
Well, do you think that's what it is? Because it's like people have realised that maybe
I think we should be excited.
Religions are tainted. And that's why people believe in a lot of stuff, because they're scared of dying, or they're scared if their loved ones pass, that they'll not go somewhere. So a lot of people like to think that there's another place, and if it's not through Christianity, Islam, Judea, maybe there's a new agey way. And just like the way you said it, it's like ether. But is this maybe just like another religion?
It's a way out.
Because,
it's a way out,
why can our souls not be like a musical tune played on a violin? Like you stroke it once and it fades and it won't last forever. It does end. Like you keep hearing this, that energy doesn't end and things don't end, and
information can't be destroyed.
To me, when you throw a stone in a puddle, Martin, it ripples, but eventually it will stop. It's like, and I think the way we live, it's like a musical note or like a ripple in a pond. Like it will go on, but it will end eventually. It's just what you leave.
No, I believe our voice is echo through time.
Like your family, your offspring, I think that's what you need to focus on, because
I
that's
did
you
today.
still
My
here.
son went out and we had a walk and a talk. It was really good for us both, if I'm honest. And we're going to start going down the woods more, you know, take the guns down. Just
Oh, you're a wee man. You're a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, he's no wee man. He's
Well,
27.
that's Martin. When you pass, that's you still walking about. There's still a piece of you walking around, like your son. So that, in a way, that's the way I see it. When I die, I will still be here. My son will still be here, and
That's
their
the way I
kids,
think.
and my spirit will still live on in them. And that's the way I look at it. No, rather than
try and make a better world instead of sitting on my ass and letting this fly by. That's all. Because I'm watching so many good people go along the wayside, and so many good people just basically the state killing them because of this piece of paper that dictates their existence, whether they have a good life or a shit life. Now that's just made by psychos. You know it is. Now
well, you must
I know it's
this flat Earth is nothing. It's ridiculous compared to what the real issues are that's really happening.
I absolutely adore the flat Earth. I've been very possessive over it. And I feel that it's being dragged one way and this way. And my biggest concern, right, Jed, right, is whoever will grab hold of it and what they'll fucking do with it. That's my greatest concern, right? Because why are these fucking satanic types gravitating towards the flat Earth, for fuck's sake? I'm encountering them all the fucking time. Now, are they going to start trying to interpret it like, oh, is this a secret fucking thing going on where this is happening and that? You know, you've even theorized it your fucking self. I thought it myself. No, it is deeper. Once you go right down that fucking, you know, sometimes you wish you hadn't gone down there, and you really fucking do wish you could come back. But you can't. And there's stuff you find out that you wish you hadn't found out. And it's too late once you know. But the flat Earth is, to me, is very real. Okay, they can give us fucking images of the fucking ball and water. I was at sea for years. I seen things 50, 60 miles. So I can't explain. Maybe it's a known visionary thing. You know, a lot of people are moving toward Lord Stephen at the moment. I heard Cass the other night.
I've heard quite a sway towards him as well. But
man.
See, what I would think, Martin, people that believe in flat Earth like the feeling it, right? And maybe if they did discover, do you know what, it could be a globe, I would respect that person more if they turned around and said, do you know what, I know the Earth's a globe, but I like it. I like flat Earth. I like why it stands up to science. I like why it stands up to government. I like why it stands up for these reasons. And it's not because the Earth's flat. It's because we formed a community that stands up against the powers that be, should we say. And I would respect that more if the flat earther said that to me.
Well, I had a friend actually thought that he came up to me and said, I understand what you're doing.
You don't hear that, man. You don't hear that shit. All you hear is arguments about the shape, when really is what's forming is like a group of people who are skeptical over nearly everything, though. This is where it's becoming a bit.
Chems, vaccines, cancer. I heard something really weird yesterday. Turpentine cures cancer. What else? Did you? Fucking weird, that one. Yeah, but well, you've got to dig in. You know, big pharma's just on the make anyway. You know, you go into a doctor's, I'm feeling a bit down. You have some fluidity. Not go for a walk in the countryside. Never think about life, son. You know, they always want to think about, you know, obviously keeping big pharma going, and they'll all do it because they're in it together. Otherwise, they're not going to get that.
That's more of an American thing. This big pharma. When we go to the doctors or the GP, they're not saying they know exactly what's wrong with you, Martin. What they do is they use a process of deduction. They'll say, well, you've not got this, or you've not got that, or you've not got this, so it could be this. Yeah. It doesn't mean they're saying for a fact that's what's wrong with you, but because there's certain symptoms, they deduce what could be wrong with you, and it's up to you. If it's up to you if you want to believe them and take that pill. They're not opening your mouth and go like that with the pill. At the end of the day. You can't be like I said, I had a cataract, Martin. I had a cataract. I was practically blind in one eye, and I had to put my trust into this young surgeon. He looked younger than me, and it's like, has he done his studies? Has he read the books? Is he went to the mind control schools? And is he going to blind me for life? And if I thought the paranoia that rips through flat Earth, if I thought like that, I would never have got my eye fixed. I would never have got my eye fixed. And I got my eye fixed for free, not a cost, and my life is a million times better. And they done it just because it's there. Again,
fabulous. He just had it done next door. He's absolutely fucking. He was really blind. He's got to have the other one done now because apparently you've got to have one and the other. So you got to have the other one done now. But yeah, he's over the moon.
When you're a bit older, it's harder. But because I was a young guy and it was a different kind of cataract, so I'm seeing 100 times better. The old people, their vision's already going a wee bit anyway. So when they get the cataract out, they've not got perfect vision. But when I got this out, it was like everything became spherical. I think I was seeing in 2D. Like maybe that's why I got into flat Earth, because everything was flat.
Crystal clear, like.
I got a cataract surgery.
Yeah, they give you a fisheye fucking lens. They give you fisheye glasses, fucking fisheye lens in your life.
Maybe that's what it was, Mara. That my cataract, when I looked at the moon looked flat. My cataract.
It's a conspiracy. I was listening to the thing about chems the other night. That was intriguing. Why would they call that shit on themselves?
What was that, mate?
The chems. I was listening to your chem exposure about chemtrails the other night.
Oh, right, the chemtrails. Well, I was in that for a while, and I do believe these trails create clouds in the haze, and it gets darker and shit.
I got a video I made today.
I don't see things dying, kind of chemicals.
Today. And the weirdest thing, right? It's snowing, right? I'm taking a video of it. And I'm taking a video of this big black cloud. I'm with my son. And there's this Cessna. And we always get Cessnas flying over. They come from the airport. And he's flying just below this really black cloud. And at the front of the propeller, there's like a pointy bit, isn't there? And then a red flash came off it. And it was like, no, you've got to have seen that. You've got to have seen that. He said, what? The red thing? I think that was the sun glinting off the front bit, Dad. It must be red coloured. Like, what fucking sun, lot? It's all completely dark. I caught it on film, but I got to mag it up to catch it. It was like the airport had told him to fly below it. He was circling below it. Whatever come off it, I don't know. I'm not saying it's connected, but to be snowing in April.
When it was snowing in Scotland. Like,
I only had my t-shirt on. It wasn't cold. I wasn't fucking cold. It was 12 degrees, man. And it says online, I came in, it says you can't snow less than 3 degrees. It says online. So what the fucking else going on?
Well, that's what got me thinking. I was listening to Jeremy last night, and he was talking about like these real photos of Earth from space and certain satellites, and he was talking about these satellites that follow particulates in the air, and he says it's dust coming from Africa and stuff like that. But I still believe that a lot of this is them watching these trails in the haze, because I don't think it's like poisonous or anything, but I'm fully aware that they know there's plenty of clouds being created by this, because I've watched it, man. The clouds come after these trails, and it's not poison, again, but it's cloud.
This made me think a lot. It never used to be there. But about the African dust, that certainly exists. And when I used to coast North Africa regularly, I'd leave my porthole open, and in the morning I'd wake up and there'd be a little drift of Sahara Desert in my cabin.
Really? I thought that was like part of, because when I was in the chemtrail groups, and a lot of these articles would come up, and it was like the pretending African dust's coming up, and it's really chemtrails.
No, you can see them as walls. And they come up the Mediterranean, and they come up as far as Malta and Sicily even. Oh yeah, they're real. They're scary looking too. They're like a 100-foot high red wall.
Jesus.
With a face, like just a straight wall. The fog banks got them. Fog banks are walls as well. You can drive. Have you ever drove into a fog bank?
No,
it's just a wall of fog, and you drive straight into it, and then it's just white out, isn't it? I drove all the way to Heathrow Airport.
I have when I've been driving up a job up there. It's been thick, the fog, and it's terrifying driving on roads when it's that thick, because you can't even see like 10 feet in front of you. Like,
so what do you do? Watch the lights in front of you and go very, very slow and hope you don't go into it. Yeah, basically. That's nice, that top. I like that Adidas top. It's cool, isn't it?
You like this one?
No, the fucking tracksuit one. The navy blue tracksuit one.
All right.
I was laughing my head off when I seen that today. Earth is flat because of water.
Do you know what? I think flat earthers like it. I've had loads of comments from flat earthers saying, go outside with that. And I'm like, what? It's meant to have the reverse effect.
You wouldn't believe it's the first time we've hung out, would you, Jed? We've been hanging out for years, wouldn't it? Isn't it weird?
I know. But the thing is, because we've sort of exchanged so many comments and watched each other.
Yeah.
It feels like we've already spoke to each other in a way. Ken, you've listened to me so much, I've listened to you so much, and it just feels like we've already spoke. Really, it's strange, yeah. It's strange.
It is. It's weird as fuck, mate. Oh, we got Eddie Van Halen on the fucking guitar on the telly, man.
Aye. Is that the Jules Holland? I seen that Jules Holland was on earlier, man. I can't stand that guy.
No, man, I can't stand that fucking Ed Sheeran. That guy.
Oh, Ed Sheeran. Oh.
I don't know who he's looking at. Is he looking at fucking Swansea or Cardiff? He's got one that right. If he was looking at me, I'd be like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Did you hear Elton John's got some kind of disease?
Well, Jungle Service says he's a girl. Ed Sheeran. But he says everyone. How can he say Kate Middleton is a man? She's up there gorgeous.
I know.
She's princess. Beautiful. How can you say
I used
that?
to follow that Jungle Surfer guy when I was same with Russian vids and PK Truth, and it was like
he subs to me Russian vids. He's a fan of mine.
Is he?
I got a load of fans who like me, like people like Russian vids or odd people like that.
Do you think you're maybe guilty, Martin? Sometimes you've been a bit starstruck with like certain channels that are bigger.
Used to, a long time ago. Like at one time, like I say, Matt Powland emailed me. I'd been like blown away. But nowadays it's like, oh, it's math.
But why would he's no like he's fucking like really
well, yeah, that's the example anyone, you know, like big names I'm on about, like, you know, a year ago I'd been fucking like, whoa man, do something to me, man, I'm fucking me. Oh, look at this, man, I can't believe it. But like after about a year of all of that, it's just nothing. It's just people same as us.
Well, Eric Debay was sub to me for ages until I started. At the beginning of the years, I kind of ramped up the kind of evidence, and then I've been a wee bit more antagonistic towards.
I didn't know it was him back when he was trolling me on that fucking.
Is it Spank Me Very Much or something?
Yeah, then I bloody banned him from my channel. I didn't know it was him. He was trolling me for a while.
He's still doing it to me with that account, Spank Me Very Much.
Like off of Jim Carrey, what's it called? Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Aye. It's like a yellow sort of, it looks like a phoenix or something in the...
It is, and I seen it. It's a symbol for Swanage. Have you ever seen the town Swanage?
Swanage, no.
Swanage, it's on the south coast, it's a town. And their symbol is that. And I'm trying to work out, is it a swan or a phoenix? And it's on their emblem as well. And it's not the first time I've seen it. I recognised it as soon as I seen it. I thought, oh, there's that symbol again. So it's, you know, everything is symbology with a lot with these cult-type leaders.
No, I believe there is a lot of symbolism and stuff.
Steve does it.
Even just like the Adidas stuff. Again, you can see. I remember the old.
What's that? A dirty Indian that had a shit, or all day I dream about sex. Which one is it?
But I can remember when it was the old Adidas badge, and it was more like a leaf shape. The old school badge, it was like a leaf shape. You used to get the cannabis t-shirts, like Addy Hash. Remember the Addy Hash t-shirt?
Yeah, man. I used to have Adidas Blackbird trainers, and they were hard to get hold of in the day, but they had the slipperiest heels soles you've ever known. I mean, if it rains, you were on your ass. It would slip on everything. What kind of training shoes were these exactly?
So you were saying you're on a Roman road or something?
Yeah, man, it's outside or underneath us. Yeah.
Have you never been tempted to try and dig?
No, man, they done the roadworks about 3 years back. I got to see it. I see a bit of it. It's just cobble. But better than that, just up here on the hill, there we got a villa, Roman villa. But the Roman road, it's on the maps, and it goes straight through the woodland. And I swear to God, Jed, somebody put forward a couple of nights ago, what if they dumped 1,000 years and the Roman Empire was only 1,000 years ago? And I'm like, fuck yeah, that would explain this missing 1,000 years. And you take a look at this fucking Roman road, which is Roman, right?
So what years are you saying is missing? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Norman conquest. I'm talking, you start at 84.
1066, sorry, it was at 1066 in Norman conquest.
Yeah, okay. So we'll start there, right? I would start at that millennium, right? Now, our history, which we've gone through the 13th century, the plagues up until Elizabeth I in 15th century, and then in 16th century, and up until the present, you know, the Industrial Revolution up until the present day. But you go before the Norman conquest, and all we've got is enigmas. I mean, nothing proven, nothing written. King Arthur, one written sentence in a book called the Celtic Annals about Arthur Pendragon, one sentence in existence. Yeah, this is a great myth made about Arthur. Alfred the Great, what, a statue in London does not make a king. He burnt the cakes is all we fucking know. No evidence. So we got 1,000 years of British history. I don't know about world history. We got 1,000 years of British history that's completely fucking missing. I've got a history of London up there, and it's from when the Romans left until the Norman conquest, when William started building Britain back up. Okay, there's nothing coming out of London, Londinium. So that leaves the question: what happened to this 1,000 years, Jeff? Now, what if? No, what bugs me is they started this year 4, right, AD, after the birth of Christ. Now, when did that exactly start? Were we there? It could have come along at any fucking time, this calendar. This Gregorian calendar, whatever it's called. We don't know when it was introduced. So what? The Chinese ain't on the same time as us yet. I think they're on the year 6,000 or some shit. They're not doing the same calendar as us at all. You know, they're not even doing our world view. The Chinese are not, which I find intriguing.
Do you ever think that maybe the world spun faster at some point, or slower? Do you ever think that our days have been longer or shorter? Do you think that the world's maybe slowing down or speeding up?
I don't think that, because I believe
if that's the case,
static, but I believe.
Sorry, I'm talking to you. Like, I'm talking to you. Like,
no, perfectly acceptable.
like
from my view, the
sun
moon is out of position. Up some days up to 30%. Now, I witnessed last week. My mother was here with me, but one night it was at about 20 degrees in the sky there in the south. The following night, it was up as high as 45. Hang on. You don't fucking jump that high. So it's just above the horizon, and the night after, it's on a 45-degree arc. I mean, it's halfway up the fucking sky. Hang on a minute. That's wrong. All right?
I'm not the sky facing what direction?
Southwest.
Southwest. It was halfway up the sky.
Mm. And the night before, it was in the southwest. So, but it was very low on the horizon. I watched it the whole night because I was laying here. It shines through the blinds. You can watch it clearly, see, and it's like the moon's like moonlit. I quite like it. Now, to me, there's something has shifted. Yes, is the sun speeding up? Is it shifted? I keep thinking that the powers that should not be maybe know something that we don't, because they seem to be panicking and shifting us. Now look at this new gothic fucking Operation Gotham. It's Jade Helm on fucking steroids, right, isn't it?
We're there, man. We'll try and stick to the sun, right? So do you believe? Yeah. Do you believe, right, that the sun has sunspots and that CMEs, coronal mass ejections, come from these, come from the sun? Which, because I watched a thing about 2 days ago, and I think the guy's called BP Earthwatch. He's a fearmonger.
I follow him. I follow him for years.
He uses this information to scare people, but it's legitimate information. The sun does fire flares and it hits our magnetosphere, and sometimes they're big ones, and they can really have an impact. A few days ago that happened, and then it snows. It snows in Scotland. It's
I believe it. I followed him for years, and I'm a believer in electric universe theory. AKA, I don't believe you need gravity. I believe everything works on electromagnetics and static electricity.
Remember Dutch synths?
Yeah.
Remember Dutch synths as well?
Yeah.
He was the same. He was like the same sort of stuff. It was like the CME that's going to wipe out all the radio, and it was always fear-mongering.
So on a projection, on a CAD, and I worked in this when I was on the buildings plastering, I worked in this old lady's house, and she was a scientist, and she came up to me, she tapped me on the shoulder, she said, "Excuse me, darling, if I was you, I'd put your shirt back on," because I was a bit of a sun soaker. I said, "Why?" She said, "There's really strong active sunspots at the moment. We're going to have an intense CME." And I'm like, all right, I understood that even though pre-internet, I still understood what a CME was. So, okay. And I took a heat. I put my shirt back on. And do you know what? I had like all lumps.
Oh, right. Prickly heat, we call it here. Prickly heat.
Come up. And it was at that time. So it was because of that. Yeah, so I believe...
right,
I believe
if we've established you believe that there's CMEs coming from sunspots, well, the fact that one of these things take sometimes a couple of days to hit our magnetosphere.
No, well, they say eight minutes, isn't it?
But that would prove that the sun isn't just up there, like close, because these CMEs take days to like hit our magnetosphere.
No, they say that if the sun blew up, it would take us 8 minutes to witness this phenomena because it's that far away. But for me, when I look at the sun, and especially more now, it just looks close to me.
No, I think there's a difference between the sunlight and the actual the solar energy. And it's like when you see one of these CMEs, and it's like is it firmament, a filament? I think it's like these strands that fly up, and they're like thousands of times the size of the Earth, apparently.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. You see an Earth inside one of these loops. I've got a photograph of it yet.
And it's
but
like
that's another part of this
solar. It's like solar energy. It's not like light that seems to be just constant. And it's like it seems
one question nobody addresses. There, you hit it. Now, in the globe model, in the heliocentric model, right? The fusion or the nuclear fusion is happening that fuels the sun. They say, oh, don't worry, there's enough helium to be produced to produce this energy for the next X amount of billion years until it turns into a red dwarf swallowing the inner solar system. Good news. Right. Now, go to the flat Earth model. Now, the sun is close. It's 32 miles across. It's 30 odd miles. So what properties fuel this sun? No, I'm definitely a purveyor of electromagnetic universe. I do believe that the ether is real. I believe that the moon and the sun are working together as maybe like this moon's like a cathode. It looks like a fucking carbon body. The ether could be the conductor, because I do believe ether exists, and the sun and powers. You see loads of these footage of spaceships, don't you, refueling in the sun and zipping back out. Now, if them spaceships were real, which I do believe spaceships are real because I've seen them, then they would have to be 1,000-mile across fucking because you wouldn't be able to see them. They'd be so huge against the mass of that giant sun. Now, even the proposed size of the sun, a little sun that it is compared to Betelgeuse, is absurdly big. And if you try to think that we're doing 63 million miles an hour around that elliptical path of that sun in only 365 days, Jesus Christ. They say 32 times the size of a speeding bullet. It's too big an arc. It's too big a fucking loop around that body, that plasma, for want for a better word, body. Did you look at electric universe theory at all, Jed?
Mark, to be honest, I remember looking at the hollow Earth before flat Earth, like just doing those, because I think it was even an advert on YouTube. It was like Aryan people, hollow Earth, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I think it was, and to be honest, I think there's more legitimacy to the hollow Earth. Like
you don't need to globe for hollow Earth. Nobody knows what's down there. We've only been 8 miles, and there's proven that there's continent-sized voids down there. This one you were on about with analysis earlier, like geophysical, when you can look what's under the ground. Now, remember that footage on Operation Fishbowl, where you will see on the bottom of Bird's Plane this probe, which will scan below the ice, so they can see the strata, the topography under the ice. They got this shit so they can see for minerals. This is how they find oil and whatever fucking minerals. They got this technology to look below ice, also look below land. This woman has done it using some sort of technology. She can see under the sand to find new pyramids. And indeed, they dig under the sand, and these new pyramids are there. Okay, so it fucking goes deep, don't it? Where my mind is going. But you with me so bad.
It's hard to sort of stick. That's it. You find this with flat Earth conversations. It's hard to stick to just the flat Earth. It is because
I can't though. I can't because it's so it's so interactive.
So dynamic.
The dynamic,
dynamic because there's so many aspects of flat Earth. There's not just the actual terra firma itself. There's the sky. There's there's other theories. The
psychology,
so much, the magnetism, the gravity, and there's so much, Martin. There's so much that, like, this is why I'm still here. If it was so easy to convince people that the Earth's a globe, I wouldn't be still here. It's like,
it is so intriguing.
I need to still do more homework.
At this stage, if someone fucking could prove that board, bless you, love. If someone could prove that board to me, I think I would be flawed. Because I tried so hard to debunk this, Jed. I haven't jumped into it willy-nilly, fucking culty thick fucker who just jump on any old bandwagon. I've been completely against that mindset my entire life. I go against the flock.
Why not try and debunk the flat Earth? Because that's real science. If you're a flat Earth believer, right,
I'm going to
Like,
go with
I
my
need to debunk
intuition.
flat Earth. Like, oh, you're just trying to look for the what disproves the globe, and that's just searching for evidence you're going to
I see
find.
that. I
As a
see that.
flat earther, you need to try and debunk the flat Earth.
I watch debunkers videos by what's his name, Foley. I watch some of Gent's work.
James Rennie's brilliant.
Yeah,
James Rennie came with Yuri
that's
Geller
it.
and Popov.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I can think from their perspective what they're thinking, But I'm just going with my own personal experience here, Jed. Honest to God, everything that I've gone through in my life seems to have gone to a flat Earth. It just made such perfect sense. But like, it is a bit encompassing, like, because then it's sort of like I can do like a hangout and somebody else will say, "You haven't mentioned flat Earth like an hour. You just got to chuck the fucking word in." And the Earth's flat, but I just want to talk about so much else. You know about Jets, when you went to Roslin. Oh man, you know
I want to go back with my gimbal so I can get a nice smooth pictures of that place.
Tap that pillar, because the Holy Grail's supposed to be in there.
The Apprentice pillar. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the DNA helix around it as well.
Well, see, when I went in the place, they just reopened the catacomb. It's like a tomb underground, And when I went underneath, there's like a big stone with Templar written on it. It had the Maltese sort of Templar cross, and it had like a slab. It had a slab with like a skeleton sitting on a throne, and a little child like standing on a ball, like facing him. And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Oh, it was creepy as shit. If you go through my video, my Roslyn Chapel video,
I have watched it.
Pause it.
All right, I will.
Pause it when my mate's looking at the slab and actually look at what's on the slab. It's creepy shit. Like, it is pretty symbolic.
But the whole story is connected to the Merovingians in France, which were supposed to be descendants of Jesus Christ, weren't they? And that place, this guy, I can't remember his name, studied that place in France, and they got such a close connection with the Roslyn Chapel, and there's some sort of code going on.
It's the Sinclair family that built the chapel. They were Saint Clair. They're from the Saint Clair family, and it turned into Sinclair in Scotland, and that's kind of where it stems from. It's like that French royal bloodline that. Yeah, and it runs into Scotland, and it's this is who's running the world, Martin.
No, it's so intertwined.
It's a European royal dynasty. Dynasties from everywhere. French the queen and they've got a mix of all these descendants from the past, and this is who rule us. Not the Jews. Maybe there is a Jew thrown in there somewhere, but I'm sure there's a Celt. I'm sure there's a Welshman. I can guarantee there's a Welshman in the royal family.
You're so proud to be Scottish. So proud to be Welsh, and I love that because we're just so proud of our identities, aren't we? And that's maybe just pride, which is maybe a sin, but it's not, and it's not nationalistic. It's something else, especially this Celtic thing. It's like a fire that burns
here, right? She's headed SNP, right? And
Nicola. Yeah,
pushing for independence as a national party, but she wants to stay in Europe. As a national party, it's like
it's
just a strange.
Why are all Scottish leaders got to be fish then? Because we just had and now we got a sturgeon. What are we going to have next? A trout?
That's what I'm saying. I said the exact same thing to my missus, honestly.
And you say a lot of the same stuff as I do. Honest to God, I think it's something.
Do you know what, Martin? The Scottish government is the gayest government in Europe.
I can believe that.
There's more gay politicians in our government than
we
any
got
other
them in
government.
Wales. We had one. The name. Well, what was that fucking puff got caught? I don't know. It was one of them anyway. And he got caught with a rent boy in Cardiff. But I knew a politician. I went camping with a school, and his name's Alan Michael, MP, famous politician. Now, right up in the cabinet, right. I'm in a minibus, right? And I'm showing my mates next to me the size of my lump of lead I've got to take on holiday with us. Check out my iPhone to Lebanese. We're going to be sorted. And he says, "What's that?" And I put it back in my pocket, and he tried to put his hand in my pocket, which made me not very happy. So I ended up, right, in the back of a minibus fighting a guy who nearly got to be Prime Minister of Britain.
See, this is what I like about you, Martin. Like, you've got some stories, like it's like this is why I'm here as well. I like people not just for information, but for their life
The
experiences.
lives, and me.
And see guys like that, ED discussions, Ed chat and all that. As much as they're intelligent guys, they know their astronomy, they know their mathematics, but it seems like they've sat in a classroom their whole lives. They've never experienced a bar fight. They've never experienced
I know.
kind of just the life, the normal guy's life. And to me, I can't relate to these people. Like, I can agree with them on what they believe in with the world, but I can't relate to them.
I know exactly what you mean. They just haven't been there. I know. I can't even put into words the amount of shit I've been in my life. I'm still in it. I'm still in shit. I'm probably up to about there. But do you know what? I do it sort of deliberate to myself. I think if I'm not going to chuck myself in full to the deep end, what's the point in the first place? Because no one's going to hear me. Then what I'm trying to achieve, which is getting to a truth and trying to do some good in this plane before I leave it. This is basically what I'm doing. It's not for me.
So what goes
my family will leave behind?
See, when it gets really tough, what goes through? Do you ever think just giving it up, or is it what is it that stops you?
Fight harder. My subs, they're the best people in the world. They come to me, the comments they give me, they just honest, just wells you up. It's like, and I can't even put into words. And then you got, when you got that support behind you, and really, rooting for you. And that many people as well, Jed, thinking about you.
I've got a different motivation. It's kind of the opposite. It's like the more people that go against me, the more I want to fight back. But in a way, I look at it like a rickety bridge. I'm halfway over, and it's like either turn back and it's going to collapse, or I run, it's going to collapse. So it's like
I get it. I get you.
I'm so entrenched in it, Martin. It's like being in the middle of a rickety bridge. Do I turn back, or do I try and complete why I was here? So.
I know exactly what you mean.
Did you see
I've got lost along
my last
the way.
video?
Sorry?
Did you see my last video? My hangout?
Yeah.
Did you see my animation?
I was vegan warrior. And I was Gem Panda as well. In pencil. Yeah. Oh, that was actually, I thought that was rather nice. Thanks, Jed.
No, well, I'm going to do that's not complete. That's just a few frames. I'm going to do a few characters from Flat Earth.
I thought it was a bit weird, like cutting me up, like a bit like weird, but like when you put it to thought, it's
no, it's just you saying why you believe in Flat Earth. Like I believe Flat Earth because the powers that be are trying to control us. You'll see when it's finished, Martin. And to be honest, my missus said that. She says, Martin will like that. I says, I know you will. You'll like this. You spent the time to do it.
Laughing my head off. I got this problem with people of authority. I always had it all my life. I encountered some government types today. And the usual way of approaching people in civilized Western world is you shake hands and you give your name and you greet. I was going for that approach. I must give off this aura of I fucking hate you, you establishment cunt. But I don't know what it was, Jed, right? But within a sentence, this woman started talking to me like a piece of shit. I mean, she didn't talk to me as a human being. She's like if I was some sort of retard. I couldn't even believe the way she was addressing me. I know. I was like, are you being real? Are you actually talking to me in this way?
What happened up at that castle? I seen you done a video where they were like telling you to piss off or something for the castle.
That's just been ongoing for the last 4 decades. Basically, that castle was given to the people of Cardiff. The council of Cardiff have stolen it and are charging everybody to go in. And it's a scam. And I'm a bit against it because it's been given to us free, see, by the Marquis of Bute.
Weren't all the castles in Wales built by the English to suppress the Welsh?
Edward built most of the castles and some of the most formidable forts and castles on earth.
Do you know Robert the Bruce? Like when they took over Stirling Castle, his first order was to destroy it.
It still stands quite a bit, though, doesn't it?
No, it's been rebuilt. It's all been rebuilt. There's hardly. It's got the original. It's got certain original. Same with Edinburgh Castle. Edinburgh Castle's been rebuilt so many times as well.
Castles everywhere. Yeah, you want to see Caerphilly Castle? It's the most impregnable in Europe. How anyone would ever get in that castle, even in this day and age, is beyond me.
Well, it's the same with Edinburgh Castle. It's built on basalt. It's built on a volcano.
A volcano.
So the rock, you can never undermine it because the rock's one of the hardest rocks in the world. And it's,
basalt.
Aye. So it was a perfect place for a castle, and I think the only time they ever got in was like deception, like a Trojan horse, like through the gates.
I'd like to go there. I love the view when they. I don't know. Is it Argyle? That main street that goes down. It's not Argyle. It's Queen Street, isn't
Princess
it?
Street.
Princess Street, and then you got the castle and that view. It was showing you on a news feed the other day, and my mother was saying she was going to go there, but that she was told it was out of a long way, on a coach journey. So she pulled out. But I love Scotland.
Oh, Martin, you would love it in Edinburgh, especially because Edinburgh's such a
I'd like to go Fringe Festival.
Martin, because you're such a wacky, eccentric person, like Edinburgh's full of these kind of people. It's an arty city, so you've got your wacky, eccentric people everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's quite an eccentric city. You could walk down the street with a plant pot on your head and nobody would give you a second look. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
yeah, go Fringe Festival time. It'd be the best for me, like, so I could catch some of these comedy, because I really love comedy. I still love my comedy.
I've seen Tom Green in the Edinburgh Festival about 4 or 5 years ago.
Really? How cool?
That was pretty cool. And he brung Steve-O from Jackass. He appeared, just a surprise guest. He just appeared there.
I haven't seen him for a while, and they're gone. Oh, I don't know what's
they're gone nowadays.
They probably after he drove. Probably your guests are not going to know. Your panel, your chat are not going to know. But this guy hammered a 6-inch nail through his penis, and he did it. He really did it on camera. Did you see that on Dirty Sanchez?
No. I remember they were putting their balls on a pool table and getting them to like smash balls and.
What you watch with that?
It's on the light keeps on flashing.
Yeah. Oh, right. My light keeps on flashing because the actual receiver on my phone wasn't even down. Ooh, I don't like that. You know what? They listen to you all the time. Siri keeps butting into my life and asking me, did you ask for something, Martin? No, I never. Go away. It's the last thing I want is another nagging woman in my life. Can I do a phone? I'm not joking. I don't like phones, Jack. They're sinister.
I'm crying.
Yeah. Don't know what that.
Have you had your shed robbed lately?
No, I don't want to go into it wrong, Jerry. It's a bit. Don't want to go into that.
It sounds quite rough around your parts, Martin.
You wouldn't believe it, Jed. You wouldn't believe it. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's terrible. It never used to be too bad. Like, well, it's always been bad. We've had a real bad name here. Some people wouldn't even get out of a car. They just drive straight through and pray the car doesn't break down. But just the last few years, since these Eastern Europeans poured in, there's these inner city types, I call them. I don't know how else to describe them. Have moved into the area and they're in packs. They're really not good people. And they're just selling hard drugs, fucking treating everyone like dog shit and being very pushy, treating people with no respect whatsoever. And it's everywhere. And it's just really hard to live with, especially the way I've been brought up British, and all of a sudden, like, everything's gone to shit. It's like literally bedlam out there. Or respect and civility seems to. You go to nice neighbourhoods, people are still civil and nice, but unfortunately, not here. So we are looking to get away from it. I've got to be honest, because I've had 4 bicycles stolen last year, Jed. I'm not going to cycle no more and giving up.
It's all about fitting in, eh? It's like, what's the point in coming to a country and not accepting their traditions and customs and keeping to yourself? And like, they create all these shops over here, and instead of mixing with us and like our shops, they've got their own shops where they meet each other, and then that keeps them segregated from us because they've got their own places to go. If they never built their own shops and stuff, they would mix with us, and it would be like. I think that. We're just, especially with the Polish, because at the end of the day, right, Polish could have kids, and those kids born in our country will just, you would think it was a Welsh boy. Yeah. they would have the apart from the surname. But the thing was, with Islam and all the Syrian refugees and things like that, they won't, when the bairns are, the kids are born, they'll still
admit it, that they won't assimilate into our way of life. They they got no respect for our way of life. They think our way of life is terrible. No,
Because I've got loads of Polish mates and they love Edinburgh. They love this place.
I was engaged to a Polish girl at one time. Wasn't her mother? I was engaged to, when I was at sea. I was engaged to marry a Polish model.
Uh-huh.
She was a monster. But I won't go into that.
A monster? Was that the one? All right. I remember your story. What was it? Some girl cheated on you for a T-shirt, for like a Mickey Mouse
fucking
T-shirt.
Garfield T-shirt. Yeah, and Christmas. What a thing to do to me. Garfield T-shirt. No less.
They're the stories. I still listen to you for these stories.
Yeah, fucking add in.
Or the story where you lost your information in the water. You were having
man. My passport. I still got all the documents for that. Where I ended up having to go to the Roman consulate because I ended up having a fight with this kid Phil, and when I chucked my coat off, wind caught it, flew in the dock with my wallet, and my passport, and everything. He was Hull's ABA champion 3 years running and punched total shit out of me. Oh my face! I was like, you know, the Fly. I was, on the way to being full Fly. My eyes were up there, like the film The Fly.
To me, that sounded like a true story. Like that just sounded true. Again, to me, like, and that's
all the paperwork still.
See, like all the flat Earth stuff. Like when you come out with these wee stories, I can imagine myself sitting there and having a good laugh with you, and talking about these weird sort of stories that you have. They're brilliant.
Mate, I got thousands. You wouldn't believe the shits I used to get.
So who are you following nowadays in the flat Earth for your information?
Myself. I really enjoy for the quality of graphics and the music ODTV's videos. For my keeping up on information, Dojo Darker seems to be pretty much with his finger on the pulse. That Robbie Davison guy, he gets like the latest intel of who's been talking flat Earth. Max Sargent gets it at the same time, sort of thing. But who do I watch for intel? Probably my friends like GeoShifter and Punk It Words and
the Globebusters.
What do you mean?
You still?
Well, you can watch their video and get like I'm there in chat for 4 hours. I'm not going to watch it then later for interesting information. This is just not something I'm going to do. I was there in the chat anyway and picked it all up, and it goes so quick. Anyway,
what do you think of this Aaron Dover thing, man?
Well, to be honest, considering 6 months ago, he was making videos saying this man will kill you in your bed. Here he is with Patricia Steer, Antonio Superett, and Nathan Oakley at the annual MI5 fucking conference meeting, right? When we went to Oxford. And I got that video, I fucking saved it, right? And it goes on and on. These people will kill you in your bed, blah, 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 right? I made a video then saying basically he's a pedo. So I knows why you're over there, you fucking Bangkok Chicky boys, just to have a go at him, innit? But I didn't know that he was a nice young fella until after he died.
Well, after I heard about it, I thought I'm going to research the guy, and I realised he was only in his, well, was he 40 odds? 42
yeah, but he looked to be young. He did look quite young, Jed,
And apparently he got chased out of the UK. I've seen certain videos. He went through a divorce. He got chased out of the UK. Blah blah blah. And in the videos they made, he was telling like the UK government they're all fucking dead. He's going to slit their throats and like he's going to generate an army and all that. I thought this sounds like someone that's ill in the mind.
Well, I thought he was ill when he started saying there was no China. I thought he might be ill, but
there's no
video.
There's a video. There's no grenades. I thought no grenades.
I've got one there. I think they exist. My grandfather's World War II. I got a box in my grandfather's. No, it's disarmed, not languishing.
You get the fucking SWAT team through your door.
Well, it won't be as bad as when I took it to school, Jed. It can't have been any worse than that.
But what I picked up for the Aaron Dover stuff was that he was probably a mentally ill guy, and he's probably just thrown himself out a window.
He's like what?
He's dead. You can't. He's dead.
I know that. He threw himself out of a window.
Well, apparently he was found lying outside in the street, like he'd fell from a height. So.
Oh, that's a coincidence.
Well, a lot of people are saying they got suicided, pushed it. But to me, he seemed like quite a mentally ill guy. So it doesn't surprise me he would jump out.
No, because if you watch his last video, right, I downloaded it the other day. It's Stephen Smith.
Spider stuff.
Yeah, man, about it was so intriguing. But if you listen to his voice, like he sounds contented, happy, no stress in his voice, and he just haven't got the MO for a guy that's sort of on the edge. He just hasn't something else going on.
It's amazing though. Like you listen to the guy and he sounds like a pro. He's got one of the BBC sort of voices, but at the same time, he seems to be totally mentally. Just I don't know. He just it's like everyone was against him. He thought the whole world was against him. I feel, and when you feel like that constantly, sometimes there's only one way out in these people's minds. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I tried to make friends with him countless times. And the last email we had together, he sent a series of emails to a load of us, giving us a dog's life. But mine, he said, "Martin, you were about 5 million miles away from me ever trusting you," which I found rather hurtful. It's like, oh, can you give me like a little better odds than that? You know? So never ever trust me, he said.
But I just didn't get like how some people take that death and then say, oh, he was killed because he was a flat earther. It was like, oh God, Ken, leave the guy. Ken, unless you know the facts, leave the guy alone, sort of thing.
It is sad. And Ali Brackton was a bit of a weird one because the way he died was the way it was described, and that was rather frightening.
How was that? How did he die again?
Well, in his bed as a suicide, but it was the whole scenario. How the whole scenario, it's been explained by somebody of the death of Lee Bracken, and he'd be dead in his bed, and then he's dead in his bed a month or two later. There's a few other things that never actually happened in this said prophecy, but you can't just think that these things are empty. It's just too much coincidence. Now, there's this other guy, guy called Guy, who he was a friend on Facebook, and he seemed really all right, mentally and everything else. Apparently, he had a breakdown and killed himself. I got affected by that, Jed. He was one of my subs, and I always said, fuck me, if one of my subs stops themselves and if it's anything to do with flat Earth, I'm fucking packing it in. If I'm responsible in any fucking way.
Have you never thought, right, that the fact that we're in a scene of people and there's maybe a few thousand, maybe 5,000, 10,000, who knows? But we're in a scene and we see all the same people in chat, and if you're in a scene for as long as we've been, Martin, like a couple of years,
yeah,
maybe there's a good chance people will die again. It's just
that people do, don't they?
Some old people.
One of my friends, he's had liver failure yesterday. I don't know if he's made it through the night. I'm waiting to find out. It's fucking pissed me off.
Is that because of the drink, or is it just a sort of?
Yeah, piss out, yeah.
It kills a lot of people in Scotland. It's one of the biggest killers. Alcohol.
Hate drink. I haven't drunk since 1999, and I wouldn't entertain it. I couldn't drink anyway. I just can't handle it.
I like a beer. I just have a couple of beers now. I'd never get drunk now. Really, again, it's like I just have a couple of beers. That's me.
Yeah, my mother wants me to fold it up because I'm keeping it up.
No problem, Mara. No problem.
Mate, it's been fucking awesome talking to you. Spuds, much love. But
we'll definitely.
Thanks. I'll come and see you again soon. All right, next
definitely, man.
Weekly roundup or something. Okay.
It was great.
Thanks everybody chat. Much love. Fuck British.
Cheers, mate.
That's my mother saying good night. God bless you all, guys.
Good night to your mother as well. What's her name? What's her?
Carol.
Carol. Good night, Carol.
There's Jedi.
Good night, Carol. Sweet dreams.
She said, sorry, she looks a mess. It's bedtime, love. We all look a mess. She'll be on tomorrow when she's dyeing her hair. I got to dye her hair for her tomorrow. I got to do a hair dye job. I hate
nice one. You dab hand at the purple rinse.
No, I'm not. I hate it, but I got to do it for her. Nobody else is going to. She can't.
The things you do for love, mate.
Yes, the things we do, like walking in the rain. And peace and love anyway, Jed. I'll catch you soon, right?
Catch
you. Do you want to say, be good? Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Just love it. Sorry, bro.
See you later, mate.
See you later.
Have a wee look at chat. See who's all here. And we have Cal Jones. Earth is flat because water. Retarded Scottish flat earther. I'm not a flat earther. This is satirical. This is look. Can you see the way I've spelled earth? and cause. Jesus, man, this is a satire. Right. So we've got Earth Sweetheart, we have Glenn in the house, we have the tomfoolery, we have the Wambulance, we have Wombra, we have Poseidon. We did have Validation Boy earlier in chat. I offered them the link to come and speak to me, tell me how much a deceiver and just a dick I am. But he never took me up on the offer. It's still there. I might wrap it up in 10 minutes. So Validation Boy. The problem is, guys, you can't hate me because you're here. You can't come on and hate me because you're here. If you hated me, you wouldn't be here. Get it? You get it, people? You starting to get it yet? It's a love-hate. Carol Stenbeck, Poseidon, Mark Sargent. Anyone notice IPS is ripping off my slogans? He made a "We Are All Mark Sargent" t-shirt. Snack to the future. Lol, Glenn, you're a gas. I'm the man with a plan and a whole lot of accounts, says Glenn. Vampire. Lord have mercy. Aye. Her sweetheart. Lol, Mark. The Wambulance. Well, Cheech. Cheech is in the house. D-Truth is here as well. Kyle Jones. D-Truth, man, you need to get an avatar. Quota, LMAO, Martin was saying, felt like the fly. Fuck, it's Chavy Jones. Well, he looked like one. I ain't joking. I took a screenshot. Get your mugs, cups, maps, t-shirts, stickers, and all your other crap you don't need from me, says Mark Sargent. The sock, Mark Sargent, obviously. Kel Jones, all these flat earth retards need to get off the internet. Kel Jones, you must be new here, pal. Flat earth evidence, watching your vids, Earth Sweetheart. Thanks. Right. So I think I've named everybody in the chat. Oh, there's Tim Osman, still lurking. Jem Panda, Tim Osman, P Mars, drinking part on Flat Earth and other debates channels. Oh, you advertising, mate. I thought you'd in the one circle jerks, Tim Osman. Jem Panda, Tim Osman, P Mars drinking. Oh, that's what I wanted today with you guys, and you got all upset about it. Right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap this one up. That was good. That was a good chat with Martin. I enjoyed that. See? That's the thing. There's something else that brings us all together. It's not just flat Earth. The fact we're all human, we can share our experiences, and just have a good laugh at the same time. Anyway, guys, unfortunately, no one else wanted to join to hate me. So, I'm going to call it a night. Take care.